Good afternoon, Standard 8 students. Today I'll be teaching you a poetry, a musical instrument by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Okay. And this is a romantic poem. So before I start with the real poetry, you must know the background of the setting of the poetry. Now the Greek god Pan, okay, whom the poetry is based on, he is half human being and half beast. He has got the body of a goat. The lower portion of his body is of a goat. In other words, he is half human and half beast. So he has got quality of a human being as well as the characteristics of a wild beast. Okay. So when we talk about the characteristics of a human being, we will talk about love. And when we talk about the beast, we will talk about mass destruction. Now, this is a romantic poem and it is based on love. Now it is nature. Everybody has got a fascination, an attraction towards the opposite sex. Like a boy will get attracted towards a girl and may fall in love with her. Like that, a girl may get attracted towards a boy and may get attracted towards him and fall in love with him. And in co-education schools, this is something very common. Boys falling in love with girls in their own class, or whichever class they may belong to. Okay. But in love affairs, the agreement should be from both sides. If A loves B, then B should also love A. Okay. But in this poetry, the love is different. A loves B a lot, but B does not love A. In real life also it happens. You may fall in love with a girl whom you've been admiring for a long time, and then you build up courage and goes and propose for her, and then say, who's going to marry you? Who's going to fall in love with you? So it is very humiliating and insulting. And that makes A very angry. Okay, then he will go all out to quench his anger by causing destruction. He will try to harm you. That is where the beastly nature gets the better of you. So this Greek god is half man and half goat. So he has got the quality of both. Of a human being means he has got the capacity to love somebody, love something. And then when you talk about the other half of his body is of a goat, of a beast. That means he's also got the beastly nature in him as well. So he's got love also on one side and the power of destruction also is there on the other hand, or on the other side. Now this Greek god fell in love with Syrinx. And Syrinx does not love the god Pan, who is half man and half goat. Now he actually is searching for her, and to escape from him, because she knows that he is a god, he can find, he has the power to find her. Okay. So what she did was, she went to a river where there were plenty of these reed plants growing, and the thousands. Now this reed plant is a thin, slender plant that grows to a height around 5 to 6 feet high. Okay, with tender leaves, slender leaves. Okay. And there are hundreds of them growing together at the side of the river. So what she did was, she went and became one of those reeds amongst them. Now it was very difficult for God Pan to actually now find out where his siblings, his lover. And she is hiding from him. Okay. Now he is in search of her. Now how is he going to identify her, or whether he will be successful in finding her? Because amongst the 1,000 reed plants, she is there one amongst them. So the poetry begins. He knows that Syrinx has gone down the riverside. She is somewhere around there. But where is she? He is now searching for her. And perhaps he has already come to know that he is unable to find her. What was he doing, the great god Pan? Down in the reeds by the river. So what was he doing? What was the great god Pan doing near the river where these reeds are growing? Spreading ruin. He is just ruining them. Scattering ban, splashing, paddling with hooves of a goat, and breaking the golden lilies afloat with the dragonfly on the river. So what he was doing, he was searching for her. And he knew that she must be somewhere in between these reed plants. So he was destroying them. And along with them, even the water lilies will be destroyed. And you have to imagine these reed plants growing along the side of the river, with the water lilies floating, blooming, and the dragonflies are flying, just soaring above the water. It is a very beautiful sight. Means everything seems to be full of life. It gives one a romantic feeling. Okay. But when you have somebody who loves to destroy other people's happiness or destroy things that look good, like a naughty boy, this great god Pan, he was searching for his lover, and in the process, he was destroying all the reed plants. The lilies were being destroyed. Okay. And the dragonfly that used to fly above the lilies, they also flew away. Okay. And with how he was destroying? With his legs. That means he must have been kicking here, kicking there, in search of his lover. He tore out a reed, means he pulled out one of the reed plants. The great god Pan. From the deep cool bed of the river, the limpid water turbidly ran. So now what he did was he started destroying things. Now the river which had crystal clear or clear water running down. Now it had turned mucky or muddy. Limpid means very clear. Okay. Turbid means the disturbances that where all the sediments at the bottom of the river bed had been upset and it has made the water dirty. Because of his hooves, the way he was moving his hooves, the entire river had become dirty. Okay. And the broken lilies, a dying leaf. Now the broken lilies also, they were lying as if they were dead. It means they were already destroyed. Okay. And the dragonfly had fled away. Now they had a habit of flying above the lilies. The lilies are lying dead. So even the dragonfly flew away from the riverside before he brought it out of the river. Now what did he bring out of the river is that one of the reed plant. He brought it out. He had uprooted that reed plant. Okay. High on the shore sat the great god Pan. So he sat at the side of the river on a height while turbidly flowed the river. While the river now began to flow dirty water and hacked and hewed as a great god can. With his hand bleak steel at the patient reed. There was not a sign of a leaf indeed to prove it fresh from the river. So he took out that reed and he went and he began to cut it. Now the beauty of the plant had died. The leaf that was being cut, the way he was cutting it, it did not show as if it was just taken out from a river. I mean, it was not fresh at all. So now the entire river was disturbed with dirty water, and he cut a tall plant into small pieces. Okay. So while he sat, he was cutting the plant. He cut it short, did the great god Pan. How tall it stood in the river. Now he cut that plant into a small stick. And now he is comparing it, this small stick, to a real plant of that reed. How tall it stands in front of how it had now turned out to be. Then drew the pit like the heart of a man. Now when a man sits idle, or now when the manly nature started working on him, then what he did was, he began to make holes into that plant. Okay. Now this is the work of a man, and he is already half man. So this nature of his proved that he is a half human being. Steadily from the outside ring and notched the poor dry empty thing in holes as he sat by the river. So as he sat down at the side of the river, he began to make holes into that small part of the remaining part of that reed plant. So I'll keep it till here. Then tomorrow I shall explain the remaining part of it. It's a very nice poetry. Please read it. I sent the soft copy already, and the word meanings. Write the word meanings in your copy and learn it as homework. Okay. Thank you.